crafty peeps, welcome to our August Craftology box tutorial by Country Craft Creations. And today we are going to make a mason jar. And I think that I have already, actually by now you have already seen one of the samples, and this is the one. And I think it turned out really cute. So I used a burlap from last month's kit. And I just I had some left over, so I went ahead and used it on here. And then I got this twine from the Dollar Tree, but I do believe that Tamara's going to be having this put in your box too. This is some of the lace that came in the kit. This is paper from the kit. This is stickers. All I did was use a little scallop punch, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And here's paper from the collection, sticker, and then I used my Spellbinders circle die and a couple of the oval dies to come up with this. But each little jar is going to be a little bit different. These leaves and flowers are just from my stash, but you will be getting flowers and stuff in your kit, so don't worry about that. Every kit is going to be a little bit different, but I've already shown you the papers from the collection. It's Authentiques Nestled, and I really love this collection. So what I did is I got this ball mason jar from Hobby Lobby. They're $2.99, and of course I used my 40% off coupon. So it was basically like $1, $60 or something like that, somewhere around there. Now, what I did was, and this is totally optional, okay? I got also, today when I stopped up at Hobby Lobby, I went ahead and got this clear acrylic matte coating, and it's a spray that dries in just minutes. And especially with the heat in Texas, it dried like mega fast. So this is $5.99. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. It was $5.99, and then of course I used my coupon on that, 40% off, so I think it ended up being a good deal. I've already removed the stickers from the bottom, and still I had trouble getting the stuff off the bottom of there, but I may just go ahead and find a circle die and put something on the bottom. I don't know yet, but I've already taken these off. So, and I'm just going to put them to the side, and you will get... in the extended kit, there's going to be some paint, and I'm not sure what kind yet, but I will definitely fill you in on that. I will probably do an overlay of words to let you know what paint is in the extended kit, or you can just purchase some chalk paint. If you have chalk paint, you can make your own chalk paint with your acrylic paint. It's super easy to do. But I'm going to take I'm just trying to grab a piece of paper or something that's like junk. Because my paint mat is so nasty, you all will freak out how yucky it is. Here, let me just grab a piece of paper here. Okay, so after I sprayed this on, I just get a paintbrush and I make sure that I dry it off. Okay. This one I had already been using, so it's okay if you dry brush on. You're going to shake up your paint, and I'm going to use an apple color because I want to make it look like an apple. Turn it to its side so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing here. Sorry, I didn't realize that there was a protection seal on this paint. Very interesting, huh? Okay. Wow, this color's really gorgeous. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead, after I shook up my paint to make sure it's on there. When I did the other jar, it still had a gap, so I'm going to bring the paint up. Before, I kind of just did it right here, but I'm going to, and it looks like I've still got this brush is wet. That's no way, no. But I'm going to try to work with this here, guys. We're going to work with it. And what I did is I kind of went in a circular motion at the top. I doubt that your paint will look this watery. I think it's because my paintbrush is too wet. So hopefully this will not affect it too bad. In fact, let me dry off this paintbrush a little better. Apparently I didn't do a good job. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's much better. It was too wet. So now I'm just going to bring this down and wipe it off because my brush was wet. There we go. So as you can see, if you have a dry paintbrush, it will go on much smoother. I always think that chalk paint has a funny smell to it. I don't know what it is. It must be the powder that they mix it with. This is such a pretty red. And I'm probably going to do 2 coats. So I will let this first coat dry thoroughly and then come back and do another one. I'm going to go ahead and bring the red all the way up to the top. If you are going to be storing anything in this jar, you may not want to bring it all the way up to the top, only because you may have difficulty opening it. But I'm going to go ahead and paint the bottom of the jar too. Okay, I'm going to let this dry and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for the paint on my hands, but basically I went ahead and I did 3 coats on here just to be on the safe side, and then I went ahead and I sprayed that matte spray back on there, and so far it looks like it's pretty darn dry. Looks like I have one little spot that I don't know what that is. So I will go ahead and fix that up real quick and put it to the side. But in the meantime, while I'm going to put that to the side, I will show you that I got into my paper now. And this one is on the prepared paper, okay? And since the calendar is no longer useful for all these months, okay? I went ahead and I cut off about 1 inch from the January line because you could still use August, September, October, November, and December. And I probably will use those. And I wanted to go ahead also. I grabbed some laces from my stash. And I know you don't even have to do that. If you want to, you could stack the paper, layering them. And this right here is about 3 inches. That's what I figured. So 3 inches, and I cut this one 1 inch by 12, and I was just going to kind of go in between there. But that's not even necessary. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I'm going to see if this goes all the way around. It almost goes all the way around, basically. Enough for where I can put something in the center. So, okay. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back because I want to go ahead and make sure that one little red spot dries because I am going to be selling this. So, I'll be right back. Okie dokie, I'm back. So, I went ahead and I got my glue gun on and I'm heating that up. And sorry, I want to move some of this stuff out of the way real fast. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and distress my edges. I'm going to use the Tim Holtz tea dye. I like doing that, you know, especially because, you know, the edges look white and I want it to look finished. So I think these are perfect to sell at craft fairs, fairly inexpensive. Me and Tamara were looking online, and we saw that one lady was selling ones, not exactly like this. Hers were completely different than these, but she was selling hers for $22 a piece. I don't even know if that included flowers or what. So, I guess it depends on what area you're in. So, in my area, including the flowers, I could probably sell it for that much. But I would have to get those flowers at a really good deal. Like, you know, at Hobby Lobby when they're like half off. Or Michael's or something like that. So, but other than that, no, I don't think I could get that price. Okay. So I've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and guesstimate approximately how much of this I'm going to need, so none of it is in my way. I notice that if I have anything in my way, it makes me a little crazy. And so I'm going to move this where it's centered. Okay, so I'm going to get out my scissors. I really need a better pair of scissors. I need some fabric shears, but I don't have any. Well, I had some, but I ruined them. You know I used them for other stuff than fabric, and that's why they no longer work. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put a strip of glue in my center here. And I'll worry about the stringies in a minute. Just want to make sure that this is on here straight. And I may even fold mine over a little bit. Maybe not. I think I need to cut some more of this off because if I don't, it's gonna look... I guess I'll use my Tim Holtz scissors, but mine are crooked, so don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. Now, if you want to, you can kind of... You want this to go around, wrap around straight because you could have it going all over the place. See? So when I came back around, this wasn't even in the same vicinity. Still, this looks a little high. I really like this crochet ribbon. It's very pretty. Okay. Or lace. Excuse me, not ribbon. You're like, girl, what are you talking about? Okay. So I'm just going to glue that on here, and then I'm going to come back in here and make sure that I don't have any edges that are not glued down, because if people are handling this, they can put it out of place and make it look all frayed, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, you can see all my lovely little flyaways here. I'm going to make sure that it's straight on the back. And it looks straight enough, so I'm going to go ahead and push it down and then lift it a little bit to add a small bead of glue, just to make sure. And I put that bead of glue in a weird spot, right? Dagnabbit. Good thing for tweezers. There we go. It looks pretty hidden. Okay. So now at this point, I can get out my score tape. Okay. Aiden, I'm doing a video. Actually, shoot. Am I even recording this? Yes, I am. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so just going to do 2 of them, one on each end. That's how I did it on my last one, and it worked out great. Okay, you're going to want to go ahead and burnish them in so that it will stick really well. Cut off your excess. Don't want anything hanging out looking cray-cray. Okay. Then now we can go ahead and peel these off. And then I'm going to put this on its side. Well, I'm going to guesstimate. I'm going to put it on its side. And then I can see, I know I'm kind of doing this weird. Uh-oh. I want it to be centered. So I'm doing the best I can to keep it centered, and I'm going to wrap it around. And I'm not doing it, you know, too tight down, but I'm doing it enough to where it's not going to lift, and then you're going to see that I'm going to burnish it in once I know it's in the spot that I want it to be. And hopefully that'll work, because that doesn't look right. Uh-oh. I think I have no choice. Okay. Yep, that's another thing. Since it doesn't wrap all the way around, you might want to start right about here. So good thing you're learning from my mistakes. Okay. Now I'm going to have to use a bigger, flower than I wanted to. So, or something. Something to cover that up. And then you can take your glue gun and glue that part down, just to make sure. And it's going to be hot, of course. Don't burn yourself like I do all the time. Just to make sure that it's down. So at this point, you're going to get out your circle die, okay? And then you're going to decide what pattern do you want to be on top, okay? And I think it's going to be, like I said, see how it's already kind of struggling to close? If you paint it all the way up at the top, it's going to be hard to reopen. I'm not worried about it as much because I probably will not be, I'm actually going to re-glue this, but down a little bit further. Okay, so I think it's looking pretty cute so far. Now I just need to decide what pattern of paper do I want to have for the top of the jar. And I was thinking this one, the patterned right here. It's really pretty to me. So let me cut out a circle. And I use the Sizzix, Spellbinders. Which one am I using? The Spellbinders Nestabilities Standard Circles Large. And this is S as in Sam 4-114. So let me cut that out and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this cut out now, and then I'm going to go ahead and distress my edges, because you never know, this person might open this jar, so I just want it to look nice and clean. And then I'm going to get out my art glitter glue. And then I'm just going to apply it liberally, you know, all over the back of this. Don't need to put too much, just enough. Make sure you get around the edges. Okay? And I'm not worried about it because it's not going to go all the way around it, but I'm just going to center it in there. Put my little seal back on my glue. And I'm going to burnish it in there a little bit. And if you have any excess glue come out, go ahead and wipe it off. Don't worry about it, it dries clear. So you are in the clear. Excuse the pun there. Oh my goodness, I think this is turning out so cute. Okay, I'm loving that. Now, you could even paint this if you want to, okay? That is completely up to you. I'm thinking, since I had some more of my ribbon left over from last month's kit, I haven't decided, am I going to use this? I have to make sure I have enough to go around the whole entire thing if I'm going to use it. But I'm kind of going along with the green for the apple theme. I may have to switch to this one. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess. I may have enough to do this one and then do another one, because I don't think it'll look good doubled up, but let's see. Maybe so. You never know. Yeah, it does. Well, I like that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and pull this all off. Well, not all of it. Okay, get out my glue gun, and I'm going to do a little dab here. press it down. You're going to have to do this a couple times. Well, a few times actually, not a couple. Go ahead and clean it up right now before the glue gets on there like too dry. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and do another dot. And I would go about every, half an inch so and do a little glue dot just to make sure that there's no lifting. Because you never know how often this person is going to open this. I thought it'd be a great idea to poke holes in it in this top piece and put potpourri in there. So that was one of my ideas. Or you could put little lights in there too, twinkling lights. Okay, so I'm moving right along here. So basically I took my original paper and I decided to go ahead and create 2 circles. This is a heavyweight chipboard, or not chipboard, paper, heavyweight paper, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add my glue around here and then glue this on top, just to give it some extra sturdiness. Okay, and then I'm going to burnish in my edges just to get any of that excess glue and make sure all my corners are sealed. And then I'm going to center it, but I might, before I actually glue it down, let me see here. I'm liking that, and I may layer this up. Let me see here. I wonder how many circles I have. Okay. Or I could do a big one. A big brown one in the back. That's probably too big. That's what I'm thinking. But I could do a brown one here. So let me do that real quick. Okay, I'm praying this is going to look good. Here we go. I've got so many of these up here. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue on the back of this one. And you know, I just love this glue, okay? And then I'm going to put it in the center. Make sure it's centered good. Let me see, does that look right? And then I already went ahead and did my edges on here with my Distress ink. And then I'm going to center this. That looks about right. So I'm going to go ahead and press it down. Okay. Then I'm going to get my score tape. And I'm going to go ahead and just get it started because I am going to need my glue gun. That's for sure. But I'm going to have to do this in stages because I want it to look right. Push back any hanging over tape. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to make sure that it's centered right. And then I'm going to glue it on there. And I'm pressing it down. I haven't added my glue gun to this part yet, okay? I'm still leaving that open because I just want to make sure that this is down right. Okay. Now I can go ahead and do some real light glue gun in there. Okay, so I see one of these little tags in here that I think is super cute. And I think it's the one that says all nestled in. But I'm not sure yet. I kind of really like this owl too in here. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and use that. Okay, so basically you're just going to go ahead and embellish a little bit more. You know, you may want to add a button on there or a flower or whatever you want to do. When I finish up, I'll be right back and let you see the finished result. I'm back, so I finally finished it and I'm really excited with how it turned out. I just basically used some baker's twine, but don't worry about that. You'll have some in your kit. And then I went ahead and used some of the moss colored seam binding ribbon and then glued it on the back of like a little wooden button and just, you know, hot glued it down, and I think it turned out really cute. I'm happy with how it turned out. And I can't wait to put this in my kitchen since my kitchen is very farm themed and I have a lot of things that I've used with the Authentique in there. So anyway, I will see you on our next tutorial. We're going to be using the Graphic 45 Matchbox that you have in your kit, and I can't wait to see you until then. All right, bye. Mwah.